Bonnie Byrne here with Cert, your DIS certification connection. Today, how to de-stress. Okay, so maybe you are yourself the dominant style. So might be a few insights for you here on what might be causing stress and what you can do about it. Then again, maybe you are someone that has a colleague that is a D dominant style, and maybe this might be some information. Well, you might want to copy it and print it and just happen to drop it on their desk. Okay. So maybe they could read it a little bit and become an even more enlightened D. All right, so what can cause, now stress course can come to every style. So we will be doing next week on the I, then the S and the C. So we're not picking on you Ds, although usually you could care less. You don't lose sleep over it. Anyway, the D, the dominant style, okay, what drives them up the wall is indecision. Okay, if you've not experienced it, you will soon. Okay, Ds, I know, indecision, you're like, give me a break. And no challenge, I know you get bored to tears if you're not challenged. And slow pace, like what's that? What's the purpose of that? I know. Okay, so, with the times that things are changing lately, things might be going a little slower pace. So I can appreciate you might be kind of like, grr. Now, what you really, you dominant, what you really need and crave typically is results. Okay. And again, if you've got a colleague that's a high D dominant, you know this to be very true. And you know what? They do want to be in control of everything. And it is pretty amazing that they are pretty productive. All right. Um, by the way, I'm not saying their quality is always A plus, all right, but they seem to manage to get things done. Of course, they often will, quote, elicit, okay, the help from others, but their need for being in control is very important to them. And if I'm speaking to you, D, you know what I'm talking about. Now, what might be a negative reaction you might experience from a D that, as I say, is not, say, enlightened? You've heard of the fight or flight, like this woman, she's kind of like in his face. Okay, fight might even be like a little dictating to him. So he's probably not going to be really receptive. Okay, D's, if that's kind of where you're headed, give it another thought. Now, if you're seeing yourself looking with your hands all folded and like very stoic, or if you're in a team meeting with somebody who's looking like this, they can come across being somewhat like bossy, aggressive. Okay, heaven forbid, but might be coming across a little egotistical, authoritative. Okay, so we understand people experience stress, but we need to be aware of how it might be impacting other people. And maybe we don't get the answers or receptivity we would like from other people. So what does a positive response to stress look like for the enlightened-Ds? They stay goal-oriented. Okay, it's like, what are they after? Not let the little stuff get to them. They are assertive, not the aggressive. The end does not justify the means. And they are a driver. Okay, yes, they're moving forward, want to make sure they got to have something that's going to happen, and they definitely want some decisions made. They want to be around folks who are decisive. So these, see if you at least get one or two of these things going on in your work schedule, you will be a much happier camper. And I know that people working around you will also be. So a few tips, again, if you're working with the colleagues, a high D, recommend you might want to forward two of them, anonymously. And here's kind of a nice summary of all that we covered. Again, here we have what's a positive response. So if you're a high D, here's a good measurement for you to consider. Where are you in terms of how you're handling your stress? So with that, take it away for another day of learning how to de-stress, and keep in mind DIS Cert, your DIS certification connection. And could DIS certification help your company? Let's talk. Bonnie Byrne, see you soon. Thanks.